Okay, welcome to another value $30 value vintage video. I figured out how to fix static problem OBS this time, but only for the intro and conclusion. Some of the games will still have it, but be the last video with a bit of static in some of the games. Annoying, but I figured out how to fix it. We're playing $30 value vintage. Look at the list in a second here. And watch my normal vintage content. This is the same banned and restricted list as vintage, but you have to your whole deck has to be $30 or less on Moxfield. We're porching over a mono red Goblin Recruiter Goblins. Now this deck is an actual classic vintage. It actually did quite well at Eternal Weekend this year. So North America Eternal Weekend is the biggest normal vintage event of the year. Just happened a couple weeks ago, and in the top 16, like 400 players or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but a lot of players. Top 16 was an unpowered, actually, made even cooler, Goblins. It has this combo in here. Take a look at the Mox field first. So we're right under this. The only difference between this list and the other one, I added 4 Lantern of the Lost as graveyard hate, a little bit of extra money. There's a Magic Online Value Vintage tournament this weekend. I've submitted this deck list for it in advance and locked in the price. So before a Value Vintage event, there's a window where you can send a screenshot proving that your deck is legal and submit it. I did that already. Not sure if I'm actually going to play the tournament. There's also a CEH tournament that I could play, so I'm deciding between a CEDH tournament and the Value Vintage one, so we'll see which one I decide. I'll be playing Daryl in the CEH tournament if I do end up doing that one. But we're here just now that underneath. As you can see, we do need to refresh this. The prices have changed. I don't know where they have landed. We can do that together in a minute. Fun. The idea is get the combo is you get a Conspicuous Snoop in play, which lets you one play Goblin at the top of your library, and 2 it gives Conspicuous Snoop all of the activated abilities of the card on the top. Then Goblin Recruiter to put Kiki-Jiki on top. If your Conspicuous Snoop does not have haste, you can also put a Torch Courier on top. Play it from the top with the Conspicuous Snoop. You stack Torch Courier to give Snoop haste if it needs haste. If Snoop's already been in play for a turn, it doesn't matter. But if it hasn't been, then it needs haste. You've got Kiki-Jiki on top from the Goblin Recruiter. You then use Conspicuous Snoop to target itself to make a copy of Snoop. You target itself. You just keep using Snoop to target itself until you get like 10 to 15 Snoops. Once you've got a bunch of Snoops in play, you've copied them. You then target, instead of Snoop itself, you then target the Goblin Recruiter again, and you put a Mogg Mob on top of your library. And since Snoop has all of the activated ability of the cards on top, all of the copies of Snoop you just made now have this sacrifice itself deal 3 damage to any target. So you just hit your opponent for 3 per Snoop, then you win the game. You can do this all with a 1-card combo. Let's say you have no cards in hand, and you have, let's say you have a Goblin Recruiter and a land in your hand, and you've got 2 mountains to play and nothing else. You play the Goblin Recruiter on turn 2, then you stack your deck, Conspicuous Snoop on top, Torch Courier under it, Kiki-Jiki under it. You could put some other, goblins below that, but they don't really matter here. It's more like the fail-safe in case the original plan goes wrong. But with those 3, Kiki on top, Torch Courier, and that's not the right order. Snoop on top, Torch Courier, Kiki-Jiki third. For all the next turn, you untap, play the mountain in your hand, play the Conspicuous Snoop, you play the Torch Courier off the top of your library to give Snoop haste. Then you can do that combo we just discussed. So it's effectively a 1-card combo. with the Goblin Recruiter, which is why it's so important. And I can see Goblin Recruiter went up slightly. It's at $3 now. It was at 2 something when I built this. So this is going to be slightly over budget now, I think. But this card is extremely important. Can kind of play like a black version with, I think it's Bogart Harbinger. Puts a card on top. But that means one, you're in black, which makes the mana base more expensive. And two, it's not a one-card combo because you need the Snoop already, and then you play the Harbinger, and then you get a like a 2-card combo. The Goblin Recruiter, why this card is so powerful, that's effectively just a 1-card combo all wrapped into one. And then separately, we've got it like an aggro plan. So this card here, Battle Cry Goblin, is like a legacy Goblin staple. It's extraordinarily strong. It doesn't look it, I get that. But this card is incredible. The side plan here is to just play a aggro plan. Like if you could pump this twice, that gives all of your goblins +2/+0 in haste. Like if you got 4 mana, that's a bunch of goblins to play. That's usually pretty incredible, and it makes tokens. And after you make a token, then you can pump. Like it's hard to explain without seeing it, but it can go crazy. The one Gempalm Incinerator as a nice little removal. I used to play Goblins was the first legacy deck I played. It's some of this is like nostalgia picks, but like Gempalm is a good card. 2 Goblin Cratermakers to get rid of problematic permanents, and its removal. Matron can find either Conspicuous Snoop or Goblin Recruiter, or if you need something else, like really need to remove something that's colorless, you get a Goblin Cratermaker. If you know, usually you're going to be getting the Snoop or the Goblin Recruiter, though. You can get Rabblemaster if you want, depending on the situation. We got 1 Haymaker here and the Goblin Rabblemaster. It's a little pricey at 43 cents there. So I only squeezed in 1 here. Recruiter, Wardriver is the 5th Battle Cry Goblin. Greasewrench is a really nice 1-drop, and then with its ability, we can use it kind of mid-game to filter our hand to find action if we need to. And like on the aggro plan, you want 1-drops. I think this is one of the better ones at on rate. You want the fast goblins in play that you can pump later on with the Battle Cry. We can only play 1 Kiki. It's $8.50. This is a lot of our budget. So just 1 Kiki. 3 of the Mogg Mobs. This card's just actually good, I think. Like, obviously this is part of the combo, so you want multiple, so like in case you draw one, you want at least 2. I think 3 is fine, because it's only 9 cents, and the card's actually quite good. It's just like removal. Like a 5th 1-drop. This one's kind of crap, but it's only 6 pence. 3 Skirk Prospectors. This is a good 1-drop. This kind of lets us go a little silly sometimes with either the Battle Cry or some lines with the Recruiter. It's a 1-drop that lets us set up nicely. And the Torch Courier is again for part of the Snoop pile to give us haste. These 2 were ideas from the Value Vintage Discord from people that I suggested. So the biggest problem with this deck when I was constructing it was that you don't want to draw a Kiki-Jiki. Drawing Kiki-Jiki is a big problem. You want Kiki-Jiki in your deck so that you can put it on top with Goblin Recruiter, right? Drawing Kiki-Jiki is bad. So we got 2 ways of fixing that. One, we have Volcanic Spite. This lets us put Kiki-Jiki from our hand on the bottom of our library, exactly where we want it. Usually, so you're not going to draw it on the bottom of your library, right? So it's also just like nice removal. Like you don't have to do the card draw thing, where you put a card on the bottom and draw one. But it's also just like decent removal. The main reason this is in here is to put Kiki-Jiki from your hand on the bottom of your library. Similarly, Chaos Warp can remove problematic permanents like Energy Field, but also, again, this was a suggestion from Value Vintage Discord, which I liked. You can play Kiki-Jiki for 5 and then shuffle it back into your library with Chaos Warp. That's obviously a lot worse than just on turn 2 putting it back in and then comboing on turn 3 or something, but it is. Wait, sideboard was the cheapest graveyard hit I could find. and the cheapest kind of removal I could find. The idea is board that in against the graveyard decks, and you can board this in against some of the fast aggro-y decks. There's some decks where the one drops just aren't gonna be great. You're just gonna, I think, swapping out some of these like one drops here for shocks in some matchups where opponents have a lot of creatures is reasonable. We're gonna update the price live here. I actually don't know what the price is gonna change. Again, for my tournament this weekend, I've already locked this in, but I'm curious how this moves here. 43 cents. So that means 30. Yeah. Do that again. Not sure why it gave us a little warning. We're over by 43 cents. So if you want to try this deck, you got to figure out how to cut 43 cents, which is doable. I think cutting a Chaos Warp is probably the easiest way to do that. If you switch out the Chaos Warp, that's 36 cents. Yeah, if you go down to 2 Lanterns of the Lost and you swap the Chaos Warp for like a cheap Goblin or something, I think you can get back down to under $30. This is the visual version of the deck. Yeah, remember to like and subscribe and throw a comment in there at some point. That's all helps with the algorithm and stuff. I like the value vintage stuff a lot, so I'm gonna keep doing it. It's a lot of fun. Nice change of pace from my normal expensive $50,000 vintage content. So fun with this. Yeah. I've already I'm doing this after the fact. I've already played these games. They did go well. The deck was really strong, and I enjoyed that. Again, I locked it in for my tournament this weekend. I do think it's quite good. Yeah, I recommend this one. It's watch the game, see for yourself, but I really think there's something here. All right, see you in round 1. All right, here we go. We will keep that. Oh, they're playing. Playing Affinity. It's the value of counter spells. Oh, interesting. Alright, let's get the Snoop down while we can. See what they do here. We want them to tap out. That's the goal. Retrofitter Foundry's fine. They could have like a Swords or something, which would be problematic. We'll see. Sure. That's fine. Do. Land. Play Goblin Recruiter. The only card we gotta put on top here is Kiki-Jiki, and then we will reshuffle the pile. Done. Do. I don't know how many I actually need. I think we only need 7. But okay. Now we want Mogg Mob. Done. Put the Mogg Mob on top. We will start throwing these at the opponent. Okay. So they're on blue-white affinity stuff. I think we just run it back exactly how we found it then. I think we can do better. We'll keep and we'll put the Kiki on the bottom. Ideally, we draw like a, you know, like a Recruiter or a one drop and stuff. Oh, right here would be good to draw like a one drop. You got a lot of artifacts there. Oh, that's pretty cool. If we play the Cratermaker, we can blow this up with a combination of Cratermaker and Spite. Maybe I should have played that in, I don't know. This is a little risky. It's very risky. It was dumb. This was dumb. Okay, we'll be clear about that. I should have just played out the Cratermaker. Yeah. We can also just Chaos Warp it. So there is that. Oh, we can actually just destroy the Ornithopter? Colorless not. I didn't even realize that. Colorless non-land permanent. Okay. Two. Soul artifact. Yep. Block. And we will destroy target. That's good. That's fine. We have to Chaos Warp that. We technically don't have to Chaos Warp it this turn. That feels risky. Unnecessarily. We'll wait for the day attack, then it's tapped. Ooh, they got a counter. Okay, they got it. We're in trouble now officially. We have to draw. We have to get out of this somehow. But this might help us. Okay, Goblin Recruiter. And in case they have a removal spell, we aren't going to attack. The removal spell would just let them win if we attack there. Now we can jump. So we want Kiki on top for sure, obviously. But let's say they deal with Kiki. What do we want underneath? Maybe just 2 1-drops, so it's indestructible actually. We have the Chaos Warp. Oh. Maybe just another Recruiter to reset. No, I don't want that really. Matron, Snoop. Maybe like a couple 1-drops to chump could be good. Yeah, let's put a couple 1-drops underneath. Just as insurance. Done. Do. Alright. Let's see if we do the combo thing. Yeah, we got there. Alright, that was a cool deck. The Metallic Rebuke was pretty good. Okay, here we go. We are on the play. Yeah, it's keepable. Our opponent has mulled, and they are deciding what to do now. Okay. We're against something. There's a lot of decks where we just die from this, though. Like, our hand doesn't disrupt at all. It's not comboing quickly, so. Our opponent's not on some sort of other kind of mid-ranger control deck, then we will just die horribly. Elves? What the heck is this? This creature enters. I've never seen this card before. The enters Surveil 2. Oh, it's Hogak. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Activate only the sorcery. Interesting. All right, so they're a Hogak deck. They're gonna. I don't think they're gonna want to block. I think they want him to stick around. I'm wrong. Okay, interesting. Because they need 2 creatures in play for the Hogak to cast it. I got more. They do get the Hogak back. Yep. That's fun. Mm-hmm. We need them to not have anything, which is kind of unlikely. Oh. Well, that card's quite good against Goblin Matron. Yep. And then they're going to get my other stuff too. Okay. We got blown out. It's okay. Yep. We needed a fade a turn. Okay. Interesting. Is there any way to survive here? Technically we can kind of kill it, but then we just they bring it back. We'll see more of their deck. We're dead here. They should just attack all, yeah. Okay. And because of our budgetary constraints here, we don't really have a sideboard for this matchup. Fortunately. I think we can play shocks to kill some of the small creatures. The Chaos Warps are actually pretty good because they can take out some of the big guys. The Greasewrench just gets stopped, so I'm going to take out some of these guys. Maybe this is wrong, but we'll see. The goal is to kind of try and control the board a bit and then combo them. I don't think the aggro plan is very good here. They're the better aggro deck. Sure. Chaos Warp a Hogak, which is quite good. We do need a third land here and some help, but you know, we can kind of filter. I think I let it go. There's a case to kill it, but then it's actually they need a. If they have a Hogak in hand, they can cast it here. Inquisition of Kozilek. think I do want to kill this one. Try and keep the Hogak from coming. If they take the Chaos Warp. Like, I like all these cards actually. Yeah. They can flash back, but we'll see. Yep. And they can flash back to therapy and take something. If they don't flash back to therapy, we'll kill the Stitcher for sure. For sure. Yep. And they got a Hogak. I assume they take the Chaos Warp, but we'll see. Mogg Mob, interesting. Alright. That is not a good draw. Alright, we are in trouble here. We have outs, but... Cosmogoyf. Let's see if this just gets taken with a discard. I think we want to play around discard. By doing this now. So what do we want? So we want Torch Courier, Snoop, Kiki-Jiki, and then if this gets disrupted with the removal spell, what do we want? That's the next card. Probably another Recruiter. Or do we just want Battle Cry? Maybe there's just Battle Cry. And then a Recruiter. Actually Battle Cry and then another Snoop. Done. So Snoop, Battle Cry, Kiki-Jiki, Torch Courier, Snoop. And that's it for us. We don't care about discard, we do care about removal. We don't care about that. It could have removal now. That only makes colorless. You got a Hogak and that's fine. We can Chaos Warp the Hogak, we can also just combo win. I think this only makes colorless here. Do. I give this haste. They could have like a dismember, I guess. I'm not sure how much dismember actually costs. I'm trying to think of like what a colorless removal spell out there would be. Probably should put something under the mob. I don't really care. I think it's just fine. Mogg Mob. Done. Mogg Mob on top. And we'll start throwing these at our opponent. Okay. I think our plan's still fine. We're using we brought in the shocks to try and kill some of the creatures. We don't have any graveyard hate, which is bad. We really need to try and fit in some graveyard hate into this deck. That is not ideal. Yeah. I think we just run it back. One lander. We gotta ship that, I think. Yeah, we will also be on the mulligan. Jeez. I mean, this is bad, but they're on like an Inquisition of College to like therapy deck, so we'll keep it and then just pitch a shock. And just try and... Ugh. I hate killing the Stitcher suppliers, but they have a therapy, then you really get got. If they just find a Hogak, then we get got too. They got a Hogak in hand? Ah, oh, jeez. Yeah, I should have killed the stupid supplier. I don't know. I think I just played this wrong. Like, I knew our game plan was to kill the stupid... Well, we got a couple draws. Like, we can Chaos Warp the Hogak if we draw a Chaos Warp. Black. Tybar. Oh boy. So you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. So we already have the Torch Courier in play. So we'll draw a Conspicuous Snoop. Play it. Maybe we play 2 of them. That way if they have a removal spell, we don't care about that. Or we could play a second. We're gonna have 4 mana. We could play a second. We definitely want the Conspicuous Snoop. We definitely want Kiki-Jiki. Maybe it's... We can't cast the Gempalm. I was like we could Gempalm, but it doesn't work. It's not going to be in our hand. We're going to have 4 mana that we can play a second card. Maybe it's just a second Snoop. I think it is a second Snoop. So we'll draw Snoop, play land, play Snoop. And then we've got Kiki-Jiki on top. Can combo that way. But if they kill the Goblin Recruiter, we are screwed. So put Kiki on top, Snoop on top, Snoop on top. This is a big turn here. Yup. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Can block before damage, kill one of them, which I think might be the right play. Or I can soak. Is there any other way for them to... 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Trying to think of any way for them to like pump spells. Maybe I just hold up the shock and block here. Then we would take 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if they have a pump spell, we can respond to it. 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's the best play. Yeah. Second main. Black. Stitcher Supplier, sure. Sure. Green. We're dead anyway, it doesn't work, right? So I don't think it really matters. Let's see if they got a removal spell. They could use the removal spell on the Goblin Recruiter in a second. That would kill us as well. One, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's fine. Mogg Mob. Done. Put that on top. And we can start throwing these guys. And we got there. That was very close. Those Hogaaks are scary. But they don't play a lot of removal. They play a lot of discard. They got the Inquisitions, they got the Therapies. They don't have a lot of removal. And if you play like we did there to the board with the Goblin Recruiter combo, we can fight through them, which is pretty good. Alright, good match. Okay, here we go. I think it's fine because we got the turn 1 Greasewrench, and then we could put the Kiki on the bottom turn 2 with the Spite. So I think we're in a good spot there. Yeah, that's fine. See how scary their turn is. Okay. Scary. Their turn is scary. Their turn is very scary. Please trade. We want them to trade. No. Okay. They've got 4 mana though. They got like a natural order or something. It's just gonna hit us. Okay. think we're now solidly on defense. Very, very solidly on defense. Very, 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 very solidly on defense. We kind of need a combo here. Gonna land next turn. Jeez. Yep, not attacking here. One virtual visionary, I guess. I think that's the way to do it. Yep. Three mana. Oh, jeez. Where is our combo? Oh boy. That's very scary. I don't think it's possible for us to win at this point. Because we have to kill this thing. We don't have a choice. I would like to buy a Pyroclasm from somebody. Jeez. Sure, why not? Oh, they can return it, right? With the, this guy. I think they can just save it. We'll go to game 2. We've been outdone. This is going to be yet another matchup where I want my shocks. I don't really care about the 1-drops. Try that. Huh? We get a couple draws and they cycle with the Spite into a turn 2, into a Matron. On turn 3 into what, a turn 4. Goblin Recruiter, hope we don't die? Maybe that's good enough? It's not amazing, but I think it's a keep. I think. We have to pray we don't draw a... We have to pray we don't draw Kiki-Jiki as well. Or if we do, we draw it on exactly the first draw step. Because that would also kill us. Chancellor of the Tangle. Alright. Interesting. Not expecting that. Green. Green. Sure. That's fine. I think I am going to save and use the Spite because we really need that third land. I want 2 looks at try and get a land here. We're going to do this just because we really want a mana source. We got one. Ooh, that's interesting. So we can Matron for a Goblin Recruiter, or we can play Snoop. I think it's Matron for Recruiter. And we would absolutely trade. Land, please. Mogg Mob. I think we just... Are we worried about them going crazy? I don't think so. I think we just play the Recruiter and make our usual little pile. So we want Torch Courier, Snoop, Kiki-Jiki, done, Kiki-Jiki, Torch Courier, Snoop. And we have 6 here. And we hope they don't have some sort of a bonkers turn. They've been constrained on mana, which has been great for us, so if they don't hit a land drop here, we're probably fine. If they hit a Heritage Druid, if they hit a Heritage Druid, we could be in trouble, yes. This was the case for playing Mogg Mob first and taking a turn off, but I just went for it. And this could bite us. This could certainly bite us. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there's Wardriver, yeah. We're just gonna have 6 here, we don't have anything. Alright, well their board's very scary, but if they don't stop us on our turn, or they don't win this turn, which I think they would need haste for, then we do get away with this one, so we'll see. I'm very curious what the last card in hand is. I'm hoping it's a random elf I don't care about. The draw spell? Deleting the Stampede? I'm trying to figure out why they need all this mana. Heat mana. Green Sun Zenith? We're playing, jeez. Oh, we're just... I knew what the last card was because they revealed it. We knew it was the Chancellor of the Tangle. Okay, that's fine. I think we just win them. Which is good. Sure. Okay. That's fine. We get to show them our combo this time instead of just getting smashed in the face over and over again. Snoop. Torch Courier. Snoop. Okay, game 2. I think we still want the aggressive removal plan. I think we just stick with this. I feel like whoever's on the play here gets a big advantage. They're on the play here. I think they're pretty sizably favored. We either want a combo or like oh Jesus, terrible hand, shock into removal into Mogg Mob or something like that. It's a turn 3 win, so we'll give it a try. Might not be fast enough. Yep. The Chancellor of the Tangle's interesting. They're getting a fire, which means their hand's already stacked, probably. Scary. Bad. That's very bad. Very bad. I'm scared. Okay. And I'm just gonna yield until here. Let's see how scary their turn is. Alright, big turn here. Okay, here's a question. Do I take a turn off and hit the Warmaster and the Llanowar Elves? Or do I just jam the Goblin Recruiter? They missed a land drop, right? I think since they missed a land drop, we go for this. And then we'll yield until here again. Hoping for a shock. Didn't get the shock. So we want a Kiki-Jiki for sure. A Snoop. A Torch Courier. And if all of that goes through, I think we want another Recruiter underneath. Done. So the Recruiter on the very bottom, and Kiki, then Torch Courier, and Snoop. And we'll see what they got. Gonna be a big turn from them, I assume. Oh, we got it. Alright, that was a close one. Good game. Okay, here we go. Our opponent might have stepped away for a second. Feel free to skip ahead. We can't actually, unless we find one of the cards to shuffle back in, we can't actually combo with this hand. But against Lyris, this is like not a bad hand though, so I don't know. I'm a little torn here, like this seems fine. But again, we can't combo. Let's give it a try. It's interesting. You have to put one of our cards in the bottom, the Mogg Mobs, which is perfect. I think we just want to go aggro here. So this can burn our opponent, so we're on actually kind of a reasonable clock here. Maybe playing these two together would have been better, but we have really nice reach here with these. We'll see. White. Okay. What are we targeting? Yep, makes sense. Wait. Goblin Bombardment. Yeah. Sure. So awkward. They can block sack here to kill the Greasewrench, which kind of bricks us. See if they do that. They should. I think they should block here before damage. Yeah, they're gonna. Yep. I don't think. Yeah, that's the correct play, I think. But I don't think we've got a better line here. Alright, this is a big turn. Let's see what they got. That's a good one. Wait. We have a lot of damage here on the table. They need something. Do we want to put a card on the bottom? This one's really easy to kill, so I think we are going to trade this one. Oh, no. Because they sacked it, we don't get the little benefit there. Attack all. Battle Cry. And then we can sack this to deal 3 here. Alright, so we got game 1. Pretty good. I like the shocks here. The shocks are coming in handy. Shocks are coming in very handy. Hitting Guide of Souls is important. So I think the 1 toughness goblins are just not where we want to be. Maybe just one of them, because the Torch Courier is kind of bad. It's in there for monetary constraint reasons. Sorry about that. I think the Chaos Warp's fine. Maybe it's a little chunky. Oh, did we take out Torch? We were not supposed to take out Torch Courier. That's terrible. That was an accident. So we'll take out 2 Greasewrenches and then 2 Chaos Warps, and I think that's okay. Actually, they might bring in Leyline of Sanctity. Let's try that. Not 100% how to board here. No mana, so we gotta mull this one. Yep, that's fine. Keep the mountain away. Done. Yep. Boom. Yep. Dahlia, okay. That's fine. With their Thalia out, they can't respond to that, so let's see what they got. So we want the Torch Courier, we want the Kiki-Jiki, we want the Snoop, and let's get a Battle Cry Goblin afterward just for fun. Another good one. So put Battle Cry, Kiki-Jiki, Torch Courier, Snoop. We'll pass. And hopefully they tap out. If they don't tap out, then we're, you know, we can run into removal. If they do tap out, we're in good shape. Just gonna F6 here with the Thalia out. We couldn't, you know, can't do anything. Alright, with the Thalia out, I think we're in the clear here. Unless I'm not thinking of a card. And we got there. Alright, good game. Alright, here we go. Okay. Got a nice curve there. And we'll see what their opponent does. Alright, that is a lot of stuff going on there. I think I do want to kill the Emery. I like all these cards though. I do kind of want to land. We're a little far from this one. We didn't want the Emery engine to get online there, so we wanted to take that out. Oh, they got another one, okay. That's a problem. I think we just do it again. This time, no. They can just block us. Alright, they're cycling the Chrome Star. Play another Chrome Star. Sure. Getting stonewalled by the Ornithopter is a little annoying. Cap a Cannoneer. Alright. Our Just Knight from Vintage Discord is watching, I guess. Sacrificing a goblin to add red. Sacrifice, let's say, this one. And play the Prospector. Then we can sacrifice a goblin, sacrifice this one, sacrifice a goblin, sacrifice this one, a Goblin Recruiter. That lets us get Kiki-Jiki, which is here. And do we want something? I don't think they're tapped out. I'm just going to assume they can't do anything. Not going to worry about it. Do, 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 do. I think we only need like 8 of these, but we're gonna do like 10 to 15 just to be safe. I'm used to having to do like 20 something, but the Mogg Mob has really sped this up. Instead of 3, it's just 1. Do, do. Mogg Mob. Done. The Mogg Mob on top. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. And we got there. I actually do want the shocks, because I really do want to be able to kill Emery, right? So we'll take out a Greasewrench, we'll take out a Reckless Lackey, a Greasewrench, take out the Greasewrenches. I think that's okay. You can, if you watch a game on Magic Online, chess is not our opponent. I have another friend from regular Vintage Discord who's getting into Value Vintage. So I'm actually tempted to keep this, because we've got turn 1 Prospector into... If we can draw a land on one of the next 2 turns, it's actually like a great hand. So I am going to keep it, but it is a little risky. It's very risky. I get that. Huh. Alright, I was not prepared for that. Interesting. Okay, well, we're in trouble then. We have to actually win with beatdown here. Which is not impossible, but we have to draw some lands. Okay. Torch Courier. That's not a land. Yeah, the Leyline of Sanctity is quite good against us. We have to try and win with aggro. Our hand's really bad against Leyline of Sanctity, so probably should have mulliganed that. Wasn't expecting this. That's why we're playing the test games here, to learn this stuff. It's good tech. Makes sense. Shock. No, but it lands pretty good. Do. Want to be able to kill the Emery. If they attach Skull Clamp, killing the Emery becomes risky. If they don't attach, killing the Emery is quite nice. Right now they got nothing in their graveyard, but they kind of mold to the ley line. But we have like a reasonable aggro plan, and if they don't really do anything, we can just kind of go crazy. We really do want to save this for this. Not this one, but the... they can trade. They can chump? Why would you do that? I don't fully understand that one. Do we want to open one, or do we just not care? This can't actually kill the other part of the Sword Thoptery combo thing. I think we just play the Torch Courier. I think we just see what they draw here. I'm surprised they're not equipping the Skull Clamp. They should equip the Skull Clamp. That way, if I kill it, they can equip everything. They can make a giant Emery. We're going to try and win with Battle Cry Goblin. They just want to chump, that's fine. I think we just let it go. We let it go. Sure. They like one of them. They want the Ornithopter? Oh, they can use the Retrofitter Foundry to make a big guy. I should have... Yeah, this was a mistake. I should have killed this earlier. I should have killed that earlier. Well, live and learn. I'm gonna get out of hand now. We can actually get rid of the ley lines. We can kind of combo. We're a mana short. Huh. One, two, three, four. We can play. Yeah. That's a tough one. We want to draw a land. Snoop. It's gonna be hard to win with aggro now. We are going to try and go for a combo. You got counter spells though. This is tough. I don't feel good about this. That seems pretty good. Really wanted to land there. If we play the Recruiter and they tap out, we can then win in our upkeep. Or we can go for a Battle Cry Goblin win. We need to get 4 through at 3 damage, so pump twice. That's very doable. We got a land coming next turn, so we can Chaos Warp and Recruiter. Yeah, so I think we just get the Battle Cry Goblin down, and we pass. We'll see what happens here. They tap out, we're golden. I think they're realizing that the double pump here from Battle Cry is scary. They're trying to figure out what to do. I'm hoping Battle Cry gets the attention, and then we can sneak in a Chaos Warp Recruiter win. So we'll see. They probably have a counter in their hand, though, so, like... We get an extra token that's attacking, and then right away, then we pump twice. So we're attacking with... They've got 4 blockers here. We'd be attacking with 7. So 3 plus 3, 9. I mean, they would live. And they just do nothing here. I think they just live. I'm worried about them having another one of these in their hand. Which feels like they probably do, because they're being very careful with their mana. Yeah, they got a counter spell. They're thinking about it. We got another one? No. Put Kiki-Jiki on top. We can always copy the... With Kiki on top, we can always copy and reorder. Wait, can we copy, 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 make a bunch of them, change it to Torch Courier. Oh, we actually had a win. We could copy, 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 restack the deck so it's Torch Courier, make mana to play Torch Courier, and then play Chaos Warp. I just didn't realize that until my end step. I had it in my second main. Well, that's dumb. Yeah, we gave them a whole extra turn here, which was stupid. It could definitely, very likely cost us the game. Yeah, crap. That does stop us. Yeah, this was completely avoidable. This was all completely avoidable. We don't want the Kiki on top anymore. Okay. We do want the Kiki, but we want it second from the top. Kiki, Skirk. Yep. We want the what is it called? The Skirk to be able to play around the counterspell thing. I'm gonna try and Chaos Warp the ley line here. All right. There's a potential that it shuffles in and then they reveal it and it comes back, but probably win. Yeah, good games. Okay, like I said in the intro, which I did record after the fact here, I think the deck's really strong. I think if you watched any of the games, you'd understand why I think that. Very happy with the deck. I think the only changes, I haven't actually played the tournament on Saturday Magic Online yet as of recording this, so I only have the practice games here. The only thing is, if you're going to try this now, I've already locked in my price, but if you're going to try this, I think you want to cut one Chaos Dwarf. That gets you back 36 cents. And then I think that's like the easiest cut. If you had to fix the rest of it, you're still like 5 cents over or something, right? 36, 43, 7 cents over. And play another card as well. But it's very close, but like if you're going to play it as of right now recording, it's changed the price slightly, but I mean, video isn't going to come out for 3 or 4 days after I'm recording it right now, so the price might even change by then. Who knows? The price dynamic's an interesting part of this format where it can go up and down. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Got ideas for other goblins that you think could be good in here? I'm open suggestion. There were like super cheap sideboard cards. Obviously, our sideboard's a little lackluster here, so like there's some interesting like 5 cent kind of cards that we could be considering. Let me know. Hopefully they reprint Kiki-Jiki so this gets cheaper. I want a cheaper Kiki-Jiki. All right, thanks for watching.